One of our listeners sent this entry from Craigslist, which is increasingly becoming a source of conversational material for our program. Here is a posting. You can look it up on Craigslist if you like and follow along. It was just posted last week, and it's called Wife plus Kids equals No Sex and the Departure of My Sanity. Hey, married ladies, answer a question for me, asks the anonymous writer. Is it really such a chore to have sex with your husband? I'm one of the many husbands, possibly wives out there, whose kids tripped over the cord on the sex machine, ripping the plug right out of the wall. That humming and sputtering sound you hear is the machine slowly grinding its way to a gear-freezing halt. Its future destination? The appliance graveyard under the sink, where the salad shooter currently resides. Somebody help me out here. What do you do when your partner in life is great in every other way, but is a passionless fish in the bedroom, while you yourself are one serious horn dog? For the sake of the kids, do you suck it up and be unhappy, hoping and praying that your sex drive will start to wane? Do you continue to take matters into your own hands until you've exhausted every masturbatory move known to man, including several you've taken upon yourself to invent? Do you consider taking antidepressants just for the libido-reducing side effect? Hell, I'm depressed anyway. Might as well kill two birds with one stone. Yes, I am at fault for marrying my wife. I literally knew what bet I was making and chose to lie in it. So maybe I have no reason or right to complain. Even before the kids came along, our sex drives were not aligned, but we worked on it. Sex was never an area where she was interested in making an investment or being adventuresome. Sure, she'll spend 3 weeks looking to find the perfect sofa cushions, but 2 minutes to put on a piece of lingerie isn't worth the time. It just comes off anyway. Although it just dawned on me, maybe some role-playing is what we need. She can be the sexy interior decorator, and I'll dress up as the perfect antique coffee table. A perfect coffee table is hot! Cue the porn music. I am a good and considerate lover, always concentrating on her needs in the bedroom. I will happily do whatever she wants for as long as she wants. And when I do, the big O hits like a hammer. If that's the case, why doesn't she want it more often? I just don't get it. If it feels that good, why not experience it at the time? No need for a special occasion. But if necessary, we can create one. A new bottle of shampoo! Hey, great! Let's do it! I know she may be self-conscious about her body, but she's beautiful to me. Message to my wife: you are the sexiest woman on the planet when you choose to be. And no, I don't look like Quasimodo. I'm in good shape. I'm the same weight I was when we were married, oh, so long ago. I'm not one of those dopey husbands that goes out with his friends to play video games till the wee hours of the morning. I don't have any interest in Xbox. I just want my white, well, you know. Nope, I get it. I buy her flowers, I do the dishes, I work as a partner around the house. I express affection even when I'm not looking for sex. Okay, I pretend I'm not looking for sex. I don't have a drinking or drug problem. I'm not abusive, and I'm not a lazy piece of crap. No, I have a good job. I'm a good father. I'm reliable, responsible, and a really great guy. Apparently humble, too. On the weekends, I stay with the kids so she can get a break. I sincerely appreciate what she does for us. But being a stay-at-home mom doesn't give her the right to neglect her husband. Maybe I've just spent too long placing her needs ahead of my own. that it's becoming a paradigm that will be impossible to reverse. But you know what? I deserve better. I'm not asking for much. Just a little sex. And maybe taking the initiative to start something once in a while. Or put 1% of the energy you spend on wanting other things, newer, better house, new clothes, new body, to wanting your husband. And for the love of God, show some effing creativity once in a while. I would be willing, make that eager to try anything once. She won't admit to it. But she's got to have some kind of twisted fantasy buried deep inside, whatever it is. I'll do it. Honey, I hate to admit it, but I'd love to paint your toenails and then beat you with a raw pork chop. Okay, do you want to use an extra lean cut or something with a lot of bone? I would throw this out there as a warning to my fellow man or woman. If sex is truly important to you, make sure you're sexual soulmates. Don't believe those discussions where your spouse says, it's not going to be different after we have kids. Because you know what? It is. And it's really, really going to suck. After a couple of years, you'll feel like your soul is eroding. You'll feel hurt, rejected, and very angry. After a while, you'll find yourself online anonymously bitching to thousands of strangers. In the long run, I know it will be worth it. Being a father is an amazing experience. Maybe the gain is worth the pain, but it's a significant amount of pain. And I'm just not a selfish enough guy, I'll say. I had to edit. To give up being able to see my kids on a daily basis just so I can get some action. Nope. I'm pretty much screwed. Yes, communication is the key to any good relationship. Fortunately, we've already communicated this to death. There's just not much you can do when the answer to what can I, what can we, what can anybody do to help you is, I don't know. Talk to somebody, take a pill, push a button, just try something, anything. My sanity is slowly slipping away. I feel better. Thanks. It's an anonymous poster on Craigslist. I know as I read that posting, I know there are many of you out there who feel this man's pain. You may be male or female, by the way. There are many of you out there who feel his pain, who are right now in the place where he is. If you are right now in the place where this guy is, I want to feel your pain.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I'm so sick of these girly boys out there. Stop it. Be a goddamn man.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Elizabeth on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I am 22 now, but when I met my boyfriend, I was 19, and our favorite thing that we did together was getting it on. That's all we did was drink and do it. So much so that I got pregnant, and that just turned everything around, and ever since then...
Why'd you let that happen?
It was an accident, I guess.
No. There are no accidents, dear. When you have sex without birth control, that's intentional.
It wasn't intentional.
Dear, let me ask you a question. If I drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I get in my car and put my foot on the gas, if I die, do I go, oops, it was an accident?
I wasn't looking to get pregnant at all.
Were you using birth control?
No.
Well, then
I wasn't looking.
That's what it means.
No, I mean, we used condoms.
Right, okay. All right.
Obviously not every time, and I don't see how that's...
Not every time. Not every time, that's my point. If it isn't every time, it's like not using it at all.
And every time is my fault or his fault, too?
Well, dear, bottom line is you're the one with the baby-making machinery. And if someone's not using a condom, you have to say the machine is closed for the evening.
And that, whatever. Sometimes when you've had too much to drink, it
depends on how badly you don't want to have children. See, dear, let me tell you, I love drinking. I love partying. I've smoked a lot of weed and I've done worse, okay? All of it. I don't have any kids. Okay. Because no matter how much I partied, there's one thing that I never...
Then you had sex with a bunch of geniuses, and I'm not a...
No. I just think that you say you didn't want to have kids, but the reality was, whatever happens, happens.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
Well, look, I was calling to look for... or just tell you my story, but I wasn't calling to get this lecture.
Well, dear, you got to get both, because it's not just for your benefit. It's for the benefit of other geniuses out there who are going to make the same mistake you did.
Well, I've heard that first lecture quite a few times, and I wasn't calling to...
Maybe all those people were right.
That was like 3 years ago.
Maybe you were wrong and they were right. I mean, hello.
Okay, fine. I was looking to get pregnant. Right. I want to have 12 kids.
Maybe you do.
Yep.
What kind of birth control are you using now, by the way?
None.
So you do want to have 12 kids.
You know what? After I had my daughter, I was on birth control, and it took away my sex drive.
Dear, there are 11 different forms of birth control. All of them do not take away your sex drive.
You know what? I called my doctor, and I said I wanted to try something new. I have increased libido, and she said they all do that. You need a new doctor, dear. Because, believe me, the reason people use birth control is so they can have all the sex they want without having to worry about getting pregnant. And there are plenty of women I know who have lots and lots of sex, and they don't have babies the way you did. So you got the wrong doctor, dear. Okay.
And I know you just think I'm full of crap, but I've been around the block more than once. And I've heard all the excuses. I'm allergic to latex. This hurts. The pill makes me fat. The pill makes me cranky.
Do that.
That is one of 11 methods available to you.
Okay.
Now, if you have not gone over the entire list, item by item, with your doctor, you got the wrong doctor.
Yeah, it's Kaiser for you, HMO. They choose who you get, and she didn't want to.
Then you go to if you can't afford to go anywhere but an HMO, you go to Planned Parenthood or another family planning agency. It's in the yellow pages. You go there. They will do that for you.
I was calling because I think that regardless of whatever my past was, and your present, regardless of whatever because
you're going to have another kid.
I was on, regardless of
knocked up again.
I think that when you pop out a kid, your sex drive just goes away, no matter what. When you pop out a kid,
you weren't worried about that reducing your sex drive, but taking birth control, that you are worried about your sex drive.
Okay, whatever. I was calling to talk about one thing, but you didn't want to, so I won't get help from you this evening.
Good. The person who thinks she knows how to do the show better than I do. Amazing. I think the shoe fit a little too well there. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how are you, man? Let me tell you something. You absolutely described my life. I can't believe it, how that letter just absolutely hit home in every single way.
Mm-hmm.
You try hard, you have a couple of kids, they say that things aren't going to change, and things do change, and that's partially the way that it is, but when you take it to the next level, the guy works out, he looked good. I mean, every single thing about that letter. In fact, I need to be transferred to Dino later because I need to read that letter to my wife. It was just, it hit home just too darn much. And I don't know what to do about it, but I think if she's a little bit more cognizant of it and maybe hears it from somebody else, an unbiased third party, it would help. So I just want to say thank you for broadcasting it. Thank you for letting people know that they're just not alone.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of it out there, Steve. We hear from guys like you all the time.
Can you take me out, Kobe, man?
Of course I can. Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM. It's Travis. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Travis.
Well, I have a story for you. It's just like that last caller. That letter hit home for me, too. I married my wife up in my home city, up in Washington State. She's from Norway, so 2 months later we went over to Norway and did the wedding over there, traditional Norway style, Viking style, I guess you could call it. Anyway, I noticed it right during that wedding. It started dropping off then, 2 months after we got married the first time. And so much that I got so bitter about it, I didn't even want to go on our month-long tour of Europe for our honeymoon. I just wanted to come home. I was over it already. And she convinced me to stick through it, that it's just because of the culture shock of me and everything else. And I said, okay, fine. So then we got back here to the States, and I, being the smart man that I am, I bought a 12-pack of condoms. And let's see, that was 6 months ago. I have 5 of them still left, and one of them I gave away to a friend. So that's 6 times in 6 months for me. And she's a strong 8, blonde Norwegian 8 for sure, if you're in L.A., I would say. And that was the fabulous part of the beginning of our relationship. We had a great time together. But now, you know, it's not there anymore. And so I've moved away. We're kind of on a break now until she figures out what she wants. And
but don't stay long enough that you're going to owe her vagina money or anything like that.
Oh, no.
You could still have this marriage annulled.
Yeah, I've thought about that. We've discussed it, and we're, she's feeling the same way I do. So we're in Nevada, so there's a nice website that I found online for $250. They'll draw up all your papers and stuff, and because we both agree, so there's no problems there. We don't have any assets together, no children. I'm 27 years old. I gave it my best shot. So now I'll probably wait till I'm 45 till I find my 18-year-old or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's an 18-year-old in your future.
I'm looking for.
Just remember, by the way, when you're 45, okay, she'll be 18. That means she was born this week.
Awesome. See, I'm looking through the maternity ward right now. I'm trying to find mine.
Keep your eyes open.
Hey, will you take me out a new style? I've got a new one for you. I want to be taken out when I'm done, you're done. So what that is a screaming orgasm, and then blow her up, and then give me or halfway through that screaming orgasm, blow her up, and then give me a bong hit.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
Thanks, Tom.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Josh on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Man, I'll tell you, that letter is just stabbed me through the heart, man. Could have been me writing that letter.
Wow.
When married to my wife, and we got 2 beautiful kids, and I before we got married, when we were dating, even right after we were married, all the time. I mean, all the time.
Right.
We used to leave work early or sneak out in the afternoon and go over to her apartment, whatever. I mean, it was great. And I absolutely guarantee you, on my mother's eyes, she's an LA 9. Absolutely beautiful, stunning woman.
Right.
And, since we've had our kids, she just has no... she's just uninterested. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a prenuptial agreement. I make a better than good living, and so I'm not worried about her taking anything that I've built, but. I can't not see my kids. I cannot not see my children every day. And I'm literally at the point where it's just amazingly frustrating. Amazingly frustrating.
I can imagine it is. And did you have any clue that she was like this? Maybe
No.
signs you paid no attention to?
No, not at all. I mean, not at all. You know, I didn't get married until I was 37. 36 and a half, actually. And you know, I'm no Boy Scout. I didn't you know, find a pretty girl and go, oh, gee, I'm in love and I'm going to get married. I mean, you know, I played around plenty, and I'm just beyond shocked. It's just absolutely horrible. I mean, it's just absolutely freaking horrible. And she's not. I mean, she's a great lay. She's great in bed. You know, it's not. I just, you know.
She's great those rare times she wants to do it.
I don't even know if it's rare anymore. I mean, it's like, you know, what the hell? Oh, well, these, you know, I can't really, I don't know how to repeat to you so that it's airable, you know, how she figures out or how she comes up to, I can't have sex because, you know, all these body parts, they made the children, and I can't think of myself in a sexual way. And,
oh, really? And does she go to a therapist or anything?
Yeah, she does now. It's costing me dearly, but I you know, if it's gonna get her head back on straight, I mean, short of leaving her having a you know, piece of ass on the side, I just do not. It's killing me. I'm a grown man. I'm not about to go, you know, to go into a bathroom stall someplace with a magazine. That just does not. That ain't gonna happen.
Well, then what are you gonna do?
You know, I'm literally debating it with myself right now. If I cannot get from her what I need, then you know, it's not an emotional thing. It's a purely physical thing for me. I don't not love her. I don't not care about her, but, you know, I got to get laid.
Well, I don't blame you, Josh.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Now, how old were you when she got knocked up?
I was 23.
You were 23. Hadn't you ever heard of condoms?
Yes,
Why weren't you using one?
because I was a dumb.
Yeah, well, that's truer words were never spoken.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. We're talking to people who got themselves into a mess. They got married, they had kids. Now there's no sex anymore. Derek on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Kind of off the subject a little bit, but wanted to see what your take was on why men in this country have kind of become wusses in the last 40 years.
Well, we've answered that question, but since you're in San Diego, you're relatively new to the show. Men have become wusses because we have the first generation of adult men who were raised by single mothers or in two-career households where there was no real man around the house most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the result is that we have boys now who don't know how to become men and nobody teaching them. We have women raising our men to pee sitting down and to be pussies and to simply cry because women want a sensitive man. And,
right.
And the reality, women want to be told what to do. They do not want sensitive men who cry. They want a man who's in control.
I've almost given up in Southern California, I think.
It has nothing to do with Southern California, Derek, because I live in Southern California just like you do.
Right.
And
I'm
that's not
really
the issue.
interested in women from other countries, I think, primarily.
I totally agree with you. Here in Southern California, though, there are many women from other countries.
Yeah.
I mean, right where you are in San Diego, the population of traditional Mexican women is large. And
of course, there, you know, you got other complications, I suppose, there, because, you know, cultural differences are definitely...
Yeah, but what are the cultural differences? They like strong family.
Yeah.
They like men who are in control. They like to fold your socks so they don't complain about it. I mean, what are the problems with the cultural differences? That is why I'm interested in Mexican women, for example, because they do all of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, what possible cultural differences can you have a problem with there?
Well, have you heard the term don't get one bean, you get the whole burrito?
I have not heard that. No.
Kind of like you inherit the family, so.
Well, yeah, you do, but by the same token, generally speaking,
yeah,
you're talking about people with more traditional values, meaning these are not women who get a job and then go have an affair with some guy at the next desk.
Now what about, I know you like Asian women, what...
Well, they're not my preference. I mean, yes, I've dated Asian women.
Yeah.
But Latin women are my preference, not just Mexican, but from just about any country.
Now, how about these Eastern European, like Russian people from the Czech Republic?
There are many beautiful women from Eastern Europe, but they're man-eaters. They're man-eaters.
Well, what about the idea of, say, bring one of them over when they're young?
No, you don't bring anybody. First of all, you don't bring
18.
You don't bring anybody over. They bring themselves over. You see, once you start spending money and bringing people over,
right,
you've then set the bar. You're now responsible for them. You're now supporting them, taking care of them. You don't want that.
Sign the prenup.
But first of all, you're talking about getting married. I'm just talking about a woman as a woman. The minute you start paying for stuff like that, it's expected of you.
Slippery slope, I suppose, isn't it?
There's enough women who are already here. You want to see Eastern European women? Come up to L.A. and head down Fairfax Avenue any day of the week.
Right.
You want to see Russian women? There's 8 million Russian bars. They're on Fairfax. They're on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City. They're all over the place.
How do you do with them?
How do you deal with them?
No, how do you fare personally? Like you?
Well, I've been with Russian and Czech and Polish women in the past. They're just not my preference.
Right.
They're not my preference.
Right.
Latin women are my preference.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Tom.
Latin women respect their man. They are not above doing your laundry or making your dinner.
Right.
They give you as much sex as you can take.
Right.
I mean, I have found the cultural differences to be a plus, not a minus.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Maybe I'm looking on the wrong side of the coin. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate the help.
All right, Derek, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Paul on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Paul.
Great topic.
Thank you.
My message, I could chime in with a bunch of sob stories, but there are a million of them out there. My message to your listeners is that women live in a fantasy land. They think that, it's going to be so great to take care of a cute little baby. And you know what? Sometimes it is, but they gloss over those 3 words, take care of.
Yeah.
They have no idea how time-consuming it is and how emotional it is. And their bodies are surging with hormones, and none of them make them horny.
Right.
And people should not get married until they're in their 30s. Anybody out there who's thinking about getting married in your 20s, you do not know yourself.
Yeah.
The women do not know themselves. The men do not know themselves. And I grew up with a mom. I'm one of 4 kids. My mom said, you better know what you're doing when you have a baby because your life will change forever.
I totally agree with that. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. What's going on?
Not much.
I actually had never really listened to you before, but after my situation, my friends have all said, hey, you got to listen to Tom Leykis. And I've heard a few of your calls, but kind of a weird boat. I'd say I'm a decent-looking guy. I surf every day here in Huntington. I'm in good shape, but I dated right now. This is almost like 3 years. This hot model-looking chick. She's smoking hot. She's got loads of baggage. Had I known about the baggage and right when I met her, I would have just dropped it right off the bat. But obviously, she didn't bring out the baggage till way into it. And at that point, I kind of wanted a relationship. But I'm 23 now. I want out of it. I've broken up with the girl, seriously, I would say over a dozen times. And the sex is incredible. I'll admit, that's my weakness. I'm 23. I'm extremely horny, and it's hard to deny it. She's the best sex I've ever had. And in my head, I always think, maybe this is the best I'll ever get. She's the hottest girl I'll ever get. I've tried to date other girls, on the side and whatnot, but it's pretty tough. It's not as easy as it sounds like when you're talking to these guys and just pick up a random chick,
Actually, you can do it, Mike. You've just gotten hooked on one, and the problem is when a woman knows you got all your eggs in one basket, they take full advantage.
Yeah. Now she's doing it.
Now you have no bargaining chips. That's why you need other women.
Yeah.
I'm
dying for other women.
Well, go get some.
problem. You know, you go out and, like, one-night stands are nuts. If you're going to go one-night stand, you have to drop your standards. You're going to hook up with a pretty beat-looking chick.
Not necessarily.
See, for me, like, my whole situation, it's regarding opportunity. That's how I see my game. Like, I know my game's pretty weak, but at the same time, like, I have friends who are, you know, they're phenomenal wingmen, and I work around them, but at the same time, the girls that I'm always stuck with is going to be some beat girl, you know. The ones I want right in the bar, there's a million guys talking to them, you know. It's hard to
I always tell guys, you're 23, I always tell guys your age, to go up in age bit. Go up to 30, 32. Do it.
That was what I tried to do. I tried to hook up with a 31-year-old single mom, and it did not work.
Oh, well, you should be hooking up with single moms. Go 35. Go 40 if you have to.
See, where do you go to meet a 40-year-old girl, though?
Are you kidding me? You're telling me that in Orange County, I'm going to tell you exactly where to go, okay? You're in Huntington Beach. You go south, young man. You go down to Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach. You go to any bar on the beach or on the marina.
Huh.
Because who do you think is down there? Who do you think has those boats? 50-year-old divorced guys. And who do you think they're dating? 35 to 40-year-old divorced or about to be divorced women.
Yeah.
That's who's there. You go to there's a restaurant in Corona Del Mar called the Villa Nova. The Villa Nova. The Villa Nova is the place that claims they invented mozzarella marinara, and they've got a piano bar in there. I don't know if anybody's going to believe the mozzarella marinara was invented in Corona Del Mar, California, but that's what they say. They have a piano bar, and just the kind of women I'm talking about are sitting around that piano bar every night they're doing it. As an example.
Yeah.
Now, whether you go to Marina Del Rey or Corona Del Mar, anything with Del in the middle, Playa Del Rey, I'm telling you, that is where the women I'm talking about hang out. Any bar in there.
Yeah, because young girls, like, everybody wants you to chase them, you know? All these young kids want you to just chase them and run around them.
These are women who will chase you if they have enough shots in them.
Awesome. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, you know what? It keeps your arm warmed up in the bullpen there until you're ready to come into the game.
All right, Tom. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Mike, I'm here to help. It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Frank. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Daddy.
Funny boy.
I called before, man. And my story is 10 years after the marriage, 2 kids. We were having problems about the sex.
Yeah.
We went to a therapist. I explained my problem. She said he wants sex all the time. I explained my problem. I just want sex. I'm a sexual person. She finally said, I do not need sex to live, to exist. Right in that therapist's office, I said, you know what, I do, so it's over. Walked away.
What, did the therapist try to stop you? Did he say anything?
No. He actually said, you know, I don't understand you. He said to my ex-wife, I don't understand you. He wants sex. You said, you don't need sex to leave. The guy, you're going to lose your husband. I walked out of that office. Within a week, I was out of my place. I signed off on a house in West Hills. I give that lady, I'm going to say it because I'm not ashamed, I give that lady $800 a month. I make $55,000 a year, Tom. You know how heavy that is on me?
Oh, I know.
So you know what? 3 months within leaving that woman, I found I'm Mexican, by the way, a Mexican girl, 22 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 38.
Oh, Frank, you're singing my song. I love it.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.